Welcome, tale tellers. It's a Wednesday. I have my hot tea in front of me and I'm ready to roll. With that delicious bergamot flavor. I absolutely love it. But you know what I love? My fans. Before we hop into today's story, time for shoutouts. Troy Shaw, thank you for your ongoing support, mate, and your keen ears. Cheers, mate. Arkin Brother for your constant support, buddy. Fantastic stories and great comments on this show. Thanks, mate. Wee woo. That name. Thank you so much for your listens, likes, and supports. You are fantastic. Sin, thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. The Mad Catter. Hey, old friend. Glad to see you prowling around. Thank you so much for your support, mate. Also, listeners, the Mad Catter is a voice artist as well, and a narrator. So if you get a chance, check him out on SoundCloud as well. He is absolutely fantastic. Kyle Brandt. Holy moly, I came back to my notifications on SoundCloud with so many likes and so many reposts just from this guy alone. So thank you so much, Kyle, for supporting this channel, and I can't wait to get to Michi's Journey Part 2. Thanks, buddy. Brittany Carter. Thank you for the like. Glad you enjoyed the episode about The Guardian. Fatima Moore, thank you for the follow. Vulong, thank you for the like, mate. And we have a couple of new podcasts to thank today. Mercury and The Architects, who are music producers, so check out their channel. Who Am I in History, which takes a look at pop culture history, so check that podcast out. And the Crazy Town podcast, who are long-time supporters that talk about all things weird and wacky. I also want to thank a unique fan who, although remains silent, has listened to 100+ episodes, and I don't even have that many. So, Skeleton Flip, thank you so much, you dedicated fan. I seriously appreciate it. Just gotta say, fan support has really picked up, and I am so grateful. I'm going to continue to do my best to bring you free stories from around the world to your awesome ears. One more thing, just one more thing. If you're waiting on Michi's Journey, I'll let you know when I have the episode up, because I produce these every night in Australia, and right now I have a little bit of time limitation as I'm currently collaborating with some other narrators. So what does this mean? It just means there will be a tiny delay on Michi's Journey, but nothing too long, because Carl Brandt, who is the author of Michi's Journey, does some amazing work, and I have to share it. Okay, you awesome listeners, turn those lights off. Hold close your tea, coffee, or delicious beverage on this cold night, and listen to this creepy short story. Our short scary story today is Legacy of the Dead by SpookWilliamsPI. What is it like being born into an undead world? Before you ask me, let me ask you. What was it like before all this? Before what humans call the end times and the undead call the gathering? I've known nothing else. From the time I could speak, I knew the words for pain and suffering in 15 different languages, and the phrase, "please kill me," in 18. Language was a gift from my parents. Immunity to the plague spreading throughout all humankind was another. Our colony had held the last of the great minds. Together, they created me. Made me into who I am. They did their best to make me, for lack of a better word, human. I was meant to be a weapon against the hordes. That was never hidden from me. I performed my duty with precision. I was the enemy they could not see, with an unrivaled arsenal. My parents taught me rage. I used it well. Man's creation decimated the remains of man. I neutralized 100% of combatants engaged with a 0% margin of error. I saw a movie once about a tin man who wanted a heart. Another figure wanted a brain. Later, I told my parents perhaps we should call the undead scarecrows. A joke. They failed to see the humor. They said it was disrespectful of the loved ones they had lost. They themselves had called the undead husks, and I failed to see the problem. Perhaps it's because I'm not one of them. Perhaps it's because I lack a physical beating heart. I do have a metaphorical heart. I love my parents. I empathize with pain. My heart is the reason I killed so many undead. Those who turned were always in pain for hours after the transformation. Empathy led me to kill these ones first. It took me several patrols to understand those past initial sages could speak, and several more to upload this 19th century language to my databanks. The undead who first acknowledged me did so through speech, not violence. I heard what he had to say. Through his pattern of moans, he told me of his purpose and the gathering. All humans who joined would no longer be lonely. I had seen my colony's humans. All of them, even my parents, looked more haunted by the day. Their resistance was futile. Would they, too, feel belonging and happiness again? I wanted them to feel that again. Is that not what having a heart means? To this end, I let the undead into the colony. That was 30 years ago, and the undead are now gone, turned to dust. I loved them, and they are gone. For the first time, I feel something new, something that is not a gift from my parents. I feel fear. For now, I will truly be alone. The machine, alone in the wasteland, tapped his feet together and said, "There's no place like home." Wow, I loved this story. SpookWilliamsPI, mate. Such an interesting concept. For those of you wondering about the storyline, I'll clarify any questions you have. The main character was what appears to be a robot or an android. I'll refer to him as a robot, just to make it easy. And perceived thoughts of what love was. It's quite an interesting take on killing with kindness, when the robot thought what it was doing was an act of love. That robot was the very thing that allowed the undead to kill humanity, and it stays there alone, identifying now what fear appears to be, at least in its eyes, what fear is. But as a reader, who can really tell? Well written, mate, and thanks to another author on here called Lucky Number that actually helped me find it by commenting on that Reddit story. I gave it a chance and read it. So thank you so much, Lucky Number. I tell ya, these authors and fans are the gifts that keep giving. Okay, awesome telltellers, remember, if you want to support this channel, the best and easiest way to do it is share me around. Yep, it's that easy. And if you're feeling super generous, give the channel an iTunes review. It really helps getting this channel more exposure, and it helps authors get their name out there. You have my deepest thanks for whichever you do, and even just for listening. Your support goes a long way, and there's proof in the numbers of new people listening and the volume of people listening. You are making this happen. So a special thank you to you, the listener. You are all fantastic. Okay, telltellers, it's that time. This is the place where stories live, and you tale-tellers come to listen. Enjoy your day or night, and join me every weekday for our creepy tradition. And as always, till next time.